Happy Friday. I'm back. I wasn't planning to record another video so soon, but blame it on running where I get my inspiration. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Friday. And this is a warning. If you haven't watched Loki yet, you may not want to listen to this. I'm only one episode in, and honestly, this isn't really a true spoiler. I'm just going to share something that's very general, so it shouldn't spoil anything for you if you plan on watching this Marvel series. So in the first episode, Loki is taken into this room where he's given this life review. And in this review, he learns that others will rise at his demise. And I thought, well, that's pretty crappy, that others being elevated comes at his expense. But then I began thinking about, from a personal perspective, you know, my ancestors who endured slavery and all the harsh realities that came with that. So they had to endure for me to be able to be where I am today. And I don't even have to go back that far. I can go back to my mom and my grandmother, all of the sacrifices that were made there to be able to put me in a position to be able to thrive. And this was often at the expense of even their dreams and the things that they had hoped to see accomplished in their life. And so, interesting thing, it reminded me of this dream that I had some years ago. I can't remember, I think it was right before my grandmother passed away, or I really believe it was shortly after she passed away. And so so in the dream, I'm in my grandmother's house, but it wasn't her house, but it was a house of some sort. There's a knock on the door, and this man shows up. I remember he has on a tan suit. And what was interesting about this is that I knew that this was my grandmother's older brother, whom I never met. He died before I was even born, never saw a picture of him, but I knew exactly who this person was. I never interacted with them in this dream. It was as if I was being shown, I was just a spectator, that they weren't even aware of being in the room. And so they're talking, catching up, you know, she's saying how much she missed him, and they start, reminiscing about their upbringing, about their parents, and they bring out this book, and it's like this book of generations. And they're thumbing through the book, they're going to pictures of, no doubt, ancestors who I had no knowledge or awareness of, but I knew that they were in the family line because it started building up into the point where I see my grandmother, see my mother, then smack dab in there, I see myself. And I'm thinking, what? And what I realized is that, and I'm humbled by this, that I was going to be the one of many, I'm sure, but the dream was specific to me, that I was going to be the one in that family line that had the one that was prayed for to bring about change and an impact in a way that they themselves would not live to see. But they were being shown that all of the seeds sown, all of the sufferings that were endured, it produced me. Y'all, I'm humbled by that, and you should be humbled by that too. That was my dream, but my story and my reality is no different than any of you. There's someone who endured in your family lines. There are multiple someones who endured in your family line, and the very reason that you are here today is because there is something that you are supposed to accomplish within the frame or span of your life. I can't define what that is for you. And it doesn't have to be what the world has defined as some great and, I don't know, magnificent call. It doesn't have to be that. All that matters is the reason why, for which you exist. That's all that matters. And so I hope this gave you some inspiration and hopefully some inspiration to really value who you are and the importance of your life, and that you matter, and that you are the prayers, you are the result of those who have come before you, who endured. And there's a scripture in Hebrews, and I may reference it, I'll reference it when I upload and share, where it talks about the honor roll of the faithful. And it talks about all these great ones in the Bible who died before ever seeing the promise. Moses didn't make it into the promised land, but those who he were leading did. He didn't get to see the promised land. Let's see, Abraham didn't get to see the fulfillment of these generations that would come from him stepping out on faith. And there are so many others who promises were made to them and they didn't get to see the fulfillment of it, but you are that living promise. You are that living promise. And I'm going to end on that.